Welcome to Elevate eCommerce, the podcast where we take your e-commerce game to the next level. I'm your host, Mayana Rose, and together we'll dive into the latest strategies in Amazon and omnichannel advertising, explore the future of e-commerce, and chat with fascinating industry experts on everything from A to Z in the e-commerce world. Tune in for practical tips, transformative success stories, and inspiration to elevate your business to new heights. Hi, all, and welcome back to the Elevate e-commerce podcast, the podcast where we take your e-commerce game to the next level. So today, I'm excited to dive into some topics with our guest, the director of e-commerce at Earth-Rated, Brian Etcovitch. He's a digital marketing and e-commerce expert. So I'm really excited to have him share some insights with you and hopefully unleash some tips. And my understanding, Brian, of Earth-Rated is that it's an environmentally responsible product line for dog owners. They're most well known for their green poop bags, which are used by over 4.5 million people daily. And they sell on Amazon as well as in over 20,000 stores in over 40 countries. So very impressive, big impact, but seemingly low carbon paw print.
Exactly.
Been waiting to say that all day. So yeah, let's dig in. So Brian, tell me a little bit about yourself and about the brand and how it got started.
Sure. So, firstly, thank you for having me. I've been at Earth Rated as the director of e-commerce for the last 3 years. I oversee our online presence on all online pure players like a Chewy, Grove, as well as all our marketplaces. So, all our Amazon markets from Canada, US, UK, Italy, Spain, and France. The company was founded 15 years ago, which is wild because we still are in that startup mentality. But to think we'll be celebrating 15 years is
Wow.
really something. And it really all started with one of those classic aha moments of one of our founders um, walking his dog one day, and it was right at the time where grocery stores were starting to charge for bags. So then this emergence of new kind of bags for poop, because people used to use those bags, but now that they were 10 cents, no one wanted to use those bags anymore. So he was walking his dog. His wife had bought these bags. He goes to pick up the poop, hand right through the bag. And it was at that moment he's like, I can do this better. Decided to take a stab at it and basically imported an entire container load of these bags, gave them around to local pet stores. They loved them, kept reordering, and that's how we started. We started off with just the poop bags, and then we also sell our handy dispenser. I brought some props here today,
That's, I
as
need
well as exactly our grooming wipes. And then in the last little while, we've been really heavy on our innovation with dog toys, specialty wipes. So that's pet ear and eye wipes. And that's the one thing that we're also trying to say. We're quite inclusive of dogs and cats and pets, that you could use our products for the most part on both dogs and cats. So you'll see us really be pushing pets to, understand the dual pet families that do have dogs and cats. And we don't want them having to go and spend more on each of those products. And we recently launched into grooming. So a coat or fur specific line, as well as a no rinse shampoo and a deodorizing spray. So a lot coming from us in the next little while as well. So very, very exciting times for us.
wow, no rinse shampoo. I feel like that's big. I mean, is there I'll have to order some of that for Rue, my corgi, but
It's the humanization of products, right? And it's the same. It's like
yeah.
a dry shampoo. The idea is that, you shouldn't be bathing your dogs too often. And sometimes you just want to get rid of the dirt and the smell. You don't want to get them into the bath because, again, we all know it's sometimes very messy. So this no rinse, it's a simple pump, wipe down your dog after with a towel, and it's a great white tea basil smell. It's amazing.
I I can't believe that hasn't been out sooner. That's such a valuable product.
Yeah.
Definitely looking into that. So I'm curious to know what, especially given your role, what is Earth Rated's approach to digital advertising in such an competitive marketplace, especially one like pet care?
Yeah, so the pet space, I mean, it's unlike any other. I came from beauty, food, and I think the pet space, it's so amazing to see pet owners and their love for their pets, and that comes for us with reviews, that comes with so much information feedback that we'll gather from that. But we really try, use Amazon search as much as we can. We actually handle it all internally, which is a great little claim for us. We use a DSP as well. It's super important. We work with an agency called Emerge. And we're really trying to understand and harness all the AMC data to plug into audiences to, further propel ourselves in the space. Because yeah, it's so competitive. There's more brands coming every single day, different products. So it's really, really important for us to stand out on Amazon.
That's great. You answered my second question to that, which was, how you guys value DSP and AMC, which is awesome. I imagine you use PPC as well.
Yeah, so the search is probably predominantly where we spend most of our money, but I think the DSP has so many great capabilities of targeting and remarketing. And now with all the advancements in streaming TV and everything that you can do, and Twitch, there's just so much for it to explore. But we really know that Amazon is a search platform. People are looking to buy products. So that's really where we concentrate a lot of our efforts.
Yeah, it's definitely really important to take both into consideration. Eva has a DSP seat, so we offer free DSP management for brands, and we're really trying to push the use of it because it is so valuable in conjunction with PPC and AMC data. So um, happy we agree on that. It's definitely an important thing to take into consideration. So what role does responsibility play in Earth Rated's branding and advertising approach? If you can speak to competing platforms like Amazon.
Yeah, so for us, I think it's really important because we're using single use products, whether it be our wipes or our bags. It's really important for us to look into how these products are made, how we can probably make the best product on the market using the best resources. Right now, our bags are made of 65% post-consumer recycled plastic, and that was done purposely because we looked at the entire life cycle analysis of how a bag is made and different types of bags. And we really found this to be the best. Not only did it reduce carbon emissions, it was giving single use plastic second life. So it was really, really good for us to look into this. But additionally, it has allowed us to use the climate pledge friendly badging on all our products. But we really trying to educate the consumer to understand what it means to be responsible, because I think being responsible in different categories means different things. And we talk about our toys, for example. If we really went the ultimate and use very sustainable materials, they might break easier, which would then make you buy them more, which would make us produce more. So we really want to look into using the best materials and sourcing the best materials for that, and then using whether it's video, A plus, or brand story to communicate that to consumers so they could really understand what they're buying and why we made that decision.
That makes perfect sense. And it's the word responsibility. I remember on our call, you kind of addressed as being separate from eco friendly for that particular reason of reusing plastic,
Yeah.
was my understanding, as opposed to developing something new that is sustainable or eco friendly. But there's a value in the word responsibility
Yeah, because I think responsibility, it means it's not responsibility just to the environment. It's responsibility to the pets, responsibility to the pet parents, to our employees, to our partners, to our retailers. So we really want to look at it holistically and understand that, yes, you can use other buzzwords, but really when it comes down to it, we are B Corp certified. So it's really important for us to hold ourselves to a really high standard.
That's so awesome. So beyond traditional ads, what are some other elements like product listings, A plus content that you find essential for boosting your ad performance on Amazon?
Yeah, I think testing, testing, testing. For us, we're constantly trying to evolve. How can we better? How can we look at conversion rates? We use a lot of different tools to understand the best title, the best. We'll use manager experiments. We'll use PickFu. We'll use different things to try and harness as much information as we can and as much data. I think we almost have a data overload sometimes, but it really allows us to push the marketing team to make better creatives, and as we innovate, it allows us to get a better understanding of what consumers, what competitors, what's available. So we really put a lot of time and effort into that.
That makes sense. There is so much data, and it's definitely something that I think at Eva we try to consolidate so that it's looking holistically at all the pieces of information and the changing landscape, so that you can kind of keep up with new trending words or you know tentpole events and all of that to kind of optimize your advertising is super important, and your product listings and all the algorithms. So um, and can you share a success story or challenge that Earthrated faced expanding into new platforms? Like if you guys are on TikTok Shop or kind of emerging e-commerce channels?
Yeah, I think I'll use TikTok Shop as an example. I think it was something that we had tried really, really hard to crack, and I think we're still trying because you hear these amazing success stories, but we also understand that it's not for everybody. And I think the types of products that we sell that are much more of a need basis, like a poop bag, you need to buy it. It's not like you're going on TikTok and you're like, wow, what I need to buy is a whole thing of poop bags. And so sometimes we try and look at it through the strategy and the consumer lens of, okay, what would be a great moment of discoverability on TikTok? But at the same time, what we're testing it out, but it has been at least 3-4 months that we tried really, really hard. We worked with TikTok, we work with agencies. We haven't gotten there yet. We're hoping again with the holiday season coming up. We're going to be shooting some more content, and seeing what we can do to maybe get that going once and for all.
That's it's definitely a worthwhile effort. I was just part of a webinar that was saying that it can take up to 5 months, really. So you guys are, 3 to 4 months
Right
in. So
there, exactly.
keep TikToking. But and that it's kind of a different reframing of looking at ROI, because some of your content is going to be just to raise awareness, and then some of it will actually be geared towards conversion. So I think it's something that, we're all tackling from both service providers and brand perspectives, is how to integrate into this new TikTok landscape. So also, and I think this definitely has a lot to do with the holidays coming up and kind of revving up your content there. But what tentpole events do you feel like Earth Rated um, gears up for on Amazon? I know there's, Earth Day, I don't know, and then other pet, maybe there's some other pet focused holidays. But yeah, if you can speak to that.
Yeah, I think obviously Prime days are prime. It's really the 2 times a year where consumers are solely focused on Amazon, right? You have your Prime, who are the best buyers on Amazon, who are looking for deals, who are staying on the platform, versus a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where we all know everybody from basically Halloween till Christmas are looking all over the internet for the best deals, whether it's television, whether it's gifts. And so we understand that Black Friday Cyber Monday, which started off as T5, is now T12, which is unbelievable how they've extended it, is a time obviously still for discovery, but we really put most of our emphasis on Prime Days. And we're very fortunate that in the US, we have Pet Day, which is in May. It's usually the first week of May, where we've seen a lot of success and we'll continue to push forward because, again, it's a really emphasized on the pet category where we have a pet week in the UK as well. So that does
Oh,
extremely well. So I would say those are kind of big three. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, as I said, it's tough because every year it keeps changing. So even just to be able to look over year, it's tough when it goes from 5 to 3 to 12 to 11. Different countries have different time periods. So, Prime Day, everyone is aligned. So it's really kind of our big focus.
that makes perfect sense. I think every Amazon seller is definitely geared around Prime Day. And how do you, what kind of tactics do you use to gear up for that? Maybe DSP, PPC related, but how do you prepare for something like that?
Yeah, I think like most, we understand there's that like lead-in browsing period. So making sure that the 2 weeks before the event, everything's prime ready, people start adding things to your cart, and then really go on a kind of, no, I don't even want to say a tear because again, we want to make sure that we are doing everything profitably. So we make sure we're in line with the category spending, making sure we have great visibility, um, using the different ad types, being able to remarket people using the DSP on the event days to show them the deals that we have for the products that they viewed. So we use little tactics like that, but really try to make sure we just have as much visibility, have a good promotion that is attractive to the consumer, um, and do as much as we really can to get that sale on those days. But to us, we always say every day matters. So just because it's a Prime Day, our business is 24/7 all the time. So a Tuesday, if things are off or there's a 3P seller on our account or something bad happens, product, buy box, this, that, whatever, for us, every day truly matters.
That's a really good motto. It's very true. And I know in the e-commerce game, it is a 24/7 thing. Um, and which does lead me into my next question. Um, However, I did want to come back to one thing because you were talking about your new product launches. Do you time your product launches with something like Prime Day, or do you feel like that's kind of there's no correlation between how well it does?
Yeah, I think we try and push our innovations that time, but in terms of launch, sometimes because we do have an omni-channel approach, there's retail considerations as well. So products don't necessarily align with our products. And then we also have to be careful because we have noticed that we do innovations during Prime Day or Black Friday, Cyber Monday periods. Um, Sometimes the receiving end on Amazon takes much longer. So you try to go for a launch around that time, but you might not get
Mm,
it. So we've tailored it where we try and launch a little before these types of events to gain a bit of velocity before the event and trying to highlight it and we'll do it for a little while. But we'll definitely use those events to push innovation.
that makes perfect sense. I think that's a really great point for any sellers who are considering launching a product and timing it kind of just before the platform gets overloaded and just being ready to promote it so that the awareness of this new product gets out there. Um, so that brings me back to my question, which you kind of got into, but how critical are AI and ad optimizations, especially during this, our business, which runs 24/7, to, add to ad strategies during these extreme buyer times like Amazon Prime Day, but also just generally speaking?
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy to see the evolutions of the platforms and what's available to us, and especially because of AI. When I started back in 2018, you weren't really able to change your bids on the hour. It was every day. You weren't able to day part. You weren't able to look into all the idiosyncrasies of your accounts and of your campaigns. And so I think that has made these events so much easier, and that technology that exists through multiple different tools have made our lives a lot easier. As I said, we handle all the PPC in-house for all the markets. It's one person, so kudos to them. And again, it's a lot of work, but when it comes to events, we have a pretty solid strategy that we use when it comes to launching products, same type of thing. So, but AI has at least facilitated their role a lot because we're able to do it, and we work with different partners as well to make sure that we're optimized and ready to, sell.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I do think that it's kind of at this point in our advancement in AI, it's so necessary to have that kind of expert guidance mixed with the AI. So yeah, kudos to your guy who manages all the PPC. That's a big deal. So how does Earth Rated balance profitability with responsibility practices? Do you feel like this impacts some of the profit margins, or?
100%, but I think we do prioritize it, right? We understand, as I mentioned before, the responsibility is not just to the environment, that is one piece, but it is to the pets, to the owners, to our retail partners, to everyone that we work with. So we take that into consideration every time we make a product. We also want to make sure our products are affordable. So we always price our products with the care that go into them. A lot of people don't think the amount of thought that goes into poop bags or dispensers or wipes, and how much we take the feedback that we use. So we just try and go as much as we can to make sure it's a balance. But I would say responsibility, probably to the dismay of the C-suite, might trump sometimes the profitability of the product, because we really have to understand long-term the effects of these products, and also long-term we want to have those customers. So we want to make sure that we're really building great products that are, as we say, make life simpler and better for pets and their owners.
Yeah, I think it sounds like you guys have a lot of the right things, because you're able to focus on exactly what the internal brand should be focusing on, which is the products and the mission of the brand. So that's really commendable and impressive and inspiring. So you kind of touched on this, but when scaling, and I don't know, did you guys start as selling on Amazon, or where did you get your beginnings?
Retail was our beginnings. Yeah. And
Okay,
then
so
shortly thereafter, I think we've been on Amazon now for over 10 years.
awesome. So in that, and you've been with the brand for some time, so kind of seeing the approach to omni-channel solutions and expanding to multiple platforms. Can you share just what are some effective strategies to approach that, that a brand might take into consideration as they are expanding? Success stories with that. Obviously, you shared about TikTok Shop, but there's many other platforms that are out there and could be very viable options for some of our listeners.
Yeah, I think what's unique in our situation also is, like, we are trying to establish ourselves as the premier pet brand. So
Mhm.
everything that we do goes to work on that. And so even though, yes, we're very Amazon focused, our website is super important. Everything we do on our website, for more information, let's say for the shampoos, there's a full quiz to understand what is the best kind of grooming routine for your specific dog based on the needs. You get all our newsletter. We have an amazing ecosystem on social. Our organic TikTok is great. So we really try and push the fact that we are one brand, and the same interaction that you have with us in a retailer, same that you have with us on Amazon. One of the things that we did integrate recently on our website for Amazon consumers is Buy with Prime. And that was something that we're able to do on the website that gives us that first party data, because we are not a D2C company, and really good understanding of what consumers are buying, buying together, where there's the ability to upsell. So I think, any first party data anyone would say is great. But I would say that for us has been a nice little win. It's obviously still a very minor percentage of our business, but nonetheless, it's showing us the importance of that and being able to interact with your customer, making sure that, you answer your messages, go through the reviews, do everything that you can there, but also make sure that we don't ignore our retailers and our independents. I think people don't realize how much independent retailers for pet is a huge game. Everyone goes to their mom and pop store around the corner to do it, and then you have all the other majors. So it's a really interesting community, the pet space. Like I said, I could not believe it when I got into it, nor did I ever think I'd be here. But there's so many cool little things that you learn, and it's a really interesting community. I would definitely recommend, and I think you said maybe you have been to any of the trade shows and everything. It's really super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Were you at Unboxed?
Yes.
Yeah, I was playing with the puppies there, and that was definitely my favorite part. But yeah, I think the pet community is a great market to be in because if you know, you know. Once you get a dog, it's game over. You just want to buy them everything, and it just is going to forever be there. So congrats on dominating that market share and also bringing with you that responsible element to the brand. And yeah, so I believe that we are running out of time. But if you have anything else to add that you just wanted to say, feel free. But yeah.
No, honestly, just a real shout out to our dispenser here, because it's the one thing I always impart. Anytime I ever see someone walking their dog, there's a hook on the back of our dispensers. Yellow is always our call to action, and everyone's like, "Oh, I just attach it to my belt or I attach it to the dog," and it's actually designed so that once you pick up the poop, you tie the poop and you can hang it, so you have a hands free and you don't actually have to hold the poop. So any dog owner that's watching this, you'll appreciate this product. You'll appreciate the innovation and the thought that went into it. And that's kind of my parting little, the more you know moment.
Yeah, I love that. Well, maybe I can get Rue to do some UGC content for you for
We'll
the
send you
holiday.
some stuff after.
I love that. The shampoo. I don't know if it's ready yet, but I
Oh
will
yeah, it's
definitely.
it's out. It's on Amazon. It's available. I have the dog refresh mist right in front of me here. Also,
Ooh,
it's been a great seller and it smells so good. I am someone who's hypersensitive to smell, uh, and I love this smell. So, but I
okay,
can't believe
that's
it's great.
awesome to hear. I especially wish I had that now because Rue got sprayed with a skunk the other day. So I just ordered some skunk shampoo on on Amazon, of course, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to arrive today. But thank you so much for joining, Brian. And I really hope to connect with you soon and look forward to, using some of those products that you mentioned. And I hope that this was really valuable for all you listeners out there. And I will see you next time.
So thank you.